Like, I want to ask Russ about...
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Beer Buds in the Big Sky. Just a bunch of jackasses trying to figure shit out. For tonight, we have Steve Quinnell.
Hey, we're 1 part Duck Dynasty, 1 part Jackass, and 2 parts PBS NewsHour.
Oh, Ryan Hennon.
Rest in peace, Mike Jopek. I told him not to get that booster. He'll be missed.
That's a bummer. I think he got vaxxed too many times.
Yeah.
Head
Bug
doctor.
chaser.
All right. Everybody says, how can you spend so much time in Vegas? I'm like, dude, they don't run out of hookers. Come on, man. It's fucking fun down there. I
Shit's
love it.
legal.
I love it.
And our D.C. hopeful, Russell Cleveland.
What's happening, everybody?
Russ
Happy
is
to be
in the
back
house.
in the last best place.
How long were you in D.C. and when did you get back?
I can't see you guys. I don't know if that matters or not.
Yeah, that does, because we're beautiful and we're fun to look at.
Count it as a blessing.
Kevin's
Russ.
trying to figure it out, but I think our audience can see you, and that's probably what matters. When did you get back, and how long were you there?
I flew out there Wednesday of last week. Was there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then got home about 5 o'clock last night. So.
Did you get to see Zenke or Downing or any of the boys?
No, that office was closed
In
and locked
DC?
and lights off,
No.
just like all of his offices here in Montana.
Oh, wow. That's weird.
Shit, I thought they were working because didn't they have to come up with a big vote on whether socialism was bad or something?
Oh, yeah.
The big resolution.
What the fuck was that?
Well, and then old Trump took a meeting with Momdami the next day. So it's funny how those things shake out.
It is. It's truly weird. But tell us about what you did out there. I'm pretty interested in that. It seemed like a pretty good deal. Saw a lot of influencers and a lot of hopefuls.
Yeah, it was incredible. Honestly, I think those type of events are pretty energizing. You get people from all over the country, all over the world. Actually, I mean, there's Americans that flew in from Europe and Australia and
Wow.
Japan, coast to coast. Our March Saturday had over 20,000 people there. Probably half of them were veterans, which was really cool. That's why I was invited out. I was part of a group of progressive candidates called the Courage Candidates that have taken a pact to support articles of impeachment against Trump and whoever is part of his regime that has broken any type of piece of the Constitution. And so we all signed a pledge saying that we would support impeachment of Trump and anyone who continues to violate the Constitution. So we came out about, I think 10 of us or so were veterans. And so I spoke on Thursday and Friday. Friday was the veterans rally portion. And then Saturday was the main march. But obviously it was an opportunity for me to get into DC and do a lot of other meetings other than just the march as well. So got to get quite a bit done. It was a jam-packed 3 days.
So what do you think about the members of Congress who came out against who basically just said, "Hey guys in the military, you do not have to follow illegal orders." What do you think about that?
They're getting in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy to me that the President of the United States basically ordered death to anyone that has to abide by the UCMJ that doesn't follow his orders instead of their oath, which actually is lawful orders, not any orders. And so it wasn't a democratic thing. It was
right.
These potential leaders, or these senators and House members are speaking to these military personnel. 2 of which guys were candidates that were there with me, that were National Guard members who took a stand and disobeyed orders when they were ordered to take to the streets of Chicago. And
so you were there with those guys? They were part of the rally?
Yep, they were there speaking with us. And so, of course, tensions were a little heightened when that Truth Social post came out that obviously there was quite a bit of eyes on us and counter-protesting going on and National Guard there, police there. It was interesting few days for sure. But they were on extra. Their tension was extra high because they were some of the folks that these congressmen and senators were directly speaking to, saying, do not follow unlawful orders.
Yeah, that's great to hear that you were there with people who refused to follow unlawful orders. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, you guys know I'm a veteran, and it disgusts me to see Zinke get on television.
Oh, I'm sure.
And I don't know if you guys saw that. It was on CNN.
I did.
He got absolutely torn apart.
A wonderful black cowboy hat on.
Oh, man.
Was that the one
It's
where
from Kemo Sabe, I bet.
he was on 60 Minutes too, talking about public lands?
Oh, was he?
That one, he didn't sound like a fucking moron. He really didn't. Yeah, that actually wasn't bad. I'm not trying to persuade people to vote for Zinke instead of Russell. That's for goddamn sure. Was Matt Raines there?
He's not putting his money where his mouth is.
Was Matt in D.C.?
No, Matt Raines was nowhere to be found, obviously.
I get a lot of text messages from him, and what's funny is I've known you for quite a while, and I don't get these text messages all the time that I do get from, hi, I'm Matt Raines. I'm running, I'm getting just the generic fucking shitty DNC mass text message bullshit,
I know.
It's just, it's sickening.
Nobody's taking my name off the list.
We're hoping. Well, that's what we're hoping. There's a lot of podcasts out there, like you said. A lot of content creators were in DC. This is how we get guys like you to win. This is it. We put the word out there as much as all of us can. Because you're not the generic candidate, and I think that's refreshing. And it seems like a lot of Americans kind of pay attention to that. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, obviously tons of support online over the last 3 days. People are going absolute nuts over all of us coming together, some of their most favorite influencers, bands, musicians out there. Obviously Cliff Cash, the comedian, was there leading it, and some of the other representatives and more progressive congressmen and women and senators supporting it as well. They've got up to 80 people in the House already, that a long ways to go, clearly, that have committed to supporting the articles of impeachment that will be filed before Christmas. There's obviously a wave of Republican congressmen and women expected to come. That Marjorie Taylor Greene is just the first one of supposedly many coming that are going to resign.
That's what I hear.
Year, and so the tides are turning. I think that's the whole point.
Yes.
I'm happy. I'm on the right side of history on this one. I couldn't be happier with the message that was put out. It was not a Democrat message. It was not an anti-Republican message. It was a obey your oath to the damn Constitution.
Do the
message.
right fucking thing message. What is wrong with that? Just do the right thing. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of ridiculous.
Well, it's good to hear that there is a message coming from some people who are running, that there's a real message that's not, I'm not as bad as they are.
Right. Orange man
message,
bad.
and we know you. We know you have a message. We know why you're in this race, and of course, we appreciate you.
Yeah, I mean, that's the voice I've had the whole time. Was like, look, if you want your standard Democrat that is gonna run on that same platform that they've lost on for 10 years, I'm not it. But if you're someone that wants to get back to the actual morality of what representation is supposed to be like, I told you guys from the beginning, I don't like politicians any more than anybody does, but the whole point of me running is to bring representatives back, not another politician. The House is supposed to be someone from a community that goes and represents their community for 2 years, 4 years, 6 years, not a career-long politician that is loyal to lobbyists. And so we got to get back to that and back to people obeying their oath to the Constitution.
I think we need more dirty wranglers from Montana instead of bedazzled wranglers.
Yeah,
That's my take on it.
Get a little dirt on that cowboy hat, Zinke, for God's sake. But yeah, so the interesting thing, something I want to share with you guys. I don't know if I'm jumping the gun here, but the amount of AI development meetings happening in DC over the last week.
Oh boy.
Startling.
I saw your post on that.
I bet.
Yeah, so I took a couple meetings, and obviously, being the person I am, I'm only privy to a certain level of information that was being shared by the individuals I met with, and Montana's got a big target on it right now, and there's a concerted effort from the representatives of this state to keep it as quiet as possible. Many of the things that they've lined up, the legislation that they've tried to push through, were to tee up this exact moment where AI data centers will become the crop of Montana.
Oh my God!
It's going to take over from storage buildings.
We got land. Yeah.
A lot of storage units.
Well, it's interesting here because I think the one thing that they're missing is we're one of the only states that has a state constitution that guarantees us clean water and clean air, and that I think is the only thing that could potentially save us, because it's already grandfathered in before this 10-year moratorium that the Trump administration is pushing through the House, and with the big beautiful bill already cracked the surface on, to where states will not have the ability to counter legislate against any AI development in their state. The federal government will essentially force it in. And so from what I understand through these meetings and through reading through this, is that is our opportunity to push back against this. And so people in Montana need to rally together, prepare a lawsuit if necessary. There's 9 or 10 groups already in motion against these data centers happening, but these data centers are projected to burn up 1.1 billion gallons of water per year per data center.
You think the MAGA moron Montana rancher guy that just loves the fuck out of MAGA and loves the fuck out of big corporations isn't going to have a problem with this when he realizes he's going to run out of water in his ranch? I mean, do you hear any pushback from any of these guys? Like, I know there's a lot of conservation efforts and groups out there that are a mix of all politicians that they lobbied Danes and Zinke about our public lands, and they got them to change their positions and stuff. Are these same people kind of fighting this AI thing too, do you think?
I don't think they understand the capacity at which we're talking.
Right.
We are talking the entire Madison River drying up. We are talking the entire Bitterroot River drying up. We are talking commercial water rights being revoked in this state and being redirected to data centers, meaning your pivots that you see on farms and ranches, irrigation lines, irrigation laws being rewritten to set capacities on how much water farmers can use, which means a direct crop reduction. Cattle agricultural ranch water rights being rewritten to revise how much water can be directed to watering pools for livestock. The closure of applications for water rights for springs and on private property to be used for private purposes. Irrigation water pulled out of rivers being rejected. Water rights that go up for sale being given first right of refusal to these corporations before other farmers and private individuals can take them up.
Boy, that's
we're talking about regulating, much like you see in Arizona and Texas and New Mexico, the times that people can actually water and how many gallons can be used in municipalities in this state. You guys, this is not me just firing things off at you. These are actual things being discussed right now. Zinke is aware of all of them, and he's distracting with some of these other things, much like the rest of the Trump administration is. There's a reason that all the tech bros were standing behind Trump on Inauguration Day.
Right.
This is all a directed effort to, we've seen tariffs, we've seen agricultural impacts through, soybeans and wheat ranches, the need for beef being redirected to feed that supply through imported beef, because they are switching our industry here to be holding data and not cattle or produce. in these wide open spaces. And Montana is a prime place for them to do that in their eyes, but it will absolutely decimate our landscape here.
Why don't they do this shit by the ocean where there's a shit ton of water?
They're
What the
salivating
fuck?
because we do have water.
We do.
And
We don't have
because
as
we
much
are
as the
inland,
ocean.
and because we also have open spaces.
We don't have as much as Michigan and
Saltwater.
the
Yeah,
Great
but
Lakes.
do it with saltwater.
Saltwater doesn't work.
People are
It really,
gonna.
it doesn't.
Well, you
Come
know how
on,
much
you
corrosive saltwater is?
But you
and shit?
can't desalinate it like they
So
do
then
in
you
India?
need twice as much energy. That's why desalination's so bad, is because it takes
my
so much
God.
energy
Plus,
to get it.
plus
I'd
you
say
got
go to
all
the
the
Great
East
Lakes
Coast
then.
elites who are going to go ape shit over all the marine life that could get killed, whereas we got 1 million people and 1.1 million people in Montana who are going to be like, oh, why did my rates double?
What you got against making
I
money?
mean, I do
That's
I
the
do like
argument.
the one thing I do think that that Montanans want is they want a bogeyman, and this is a great bogeyman for us to really start spreading the word about. Is that
Boogie.
these.
Boogeyman.
Boogeyman,
He's
right?
thinking about golf.
Oh, I was thinking about Ed.
Boogeyman.
Oh, that's
Oh.
Ed's triple bogeyman.
Okay.
Sorry.
I wasn't
Hey,
sure.
I was 77 at Rhodes Ranch.
I wasn't sure if that was like a Southern thing, like a
Yeah.
bogeyman. That's why. Hey, sorry, go continue. People want a
Anyway.
bogeyman. Yeah.
MAGA wants a boogeyman, bogeyman, whatever.
Whatever,
You wanna,
It's
you wanna call
Boogeyman,
it.
yeah.
This is a good one. I mean, this is the one. This is the real one. In Montana, it was, it's property rights. Somebody's going to come in and take away my right to develop my property. Well, that sounds exactly what's is going to happen here, especially with Greg Gianforte in office, who is a tech bro.
Friends with all of them.
And he's been pushing more technology, but we don't need to be the fucking sewer of technology. We want to be the next Silicon Valley of, we're going to educate our students here to become create the next level of computer science that's going to make life better and all those things. I mean, but we don't want to be the place that has to create all that, the energy and use all the water for that.
Well, I think this is something that would piss off MAGA. Now, if they were intellectually inclined to think critically, which
Well,
I'm not
that's-
sure they are.
that's
I know.
not possible.
I know.
We've already established that.
But I know. But if you're really going to affect them, like they want their public lands, and with these data centers. Now, Russ, I think all you would have to do, promise MAGA that you won't make them cut off their dicks. You won't put fucking dudes in girls' sports.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think you could probably win if you can just
They'll do
convince
whatever.
thing dumb fuckers that that's not what it's about.
You
know,
can't
Well,
do a 10-minute. You
I
can't do a
think,
10-minute lecture about water rights.
Right.
Well, the thing is this is an issue that crosses party divides here. This is
Big
an
time.
issue that
Absolutely.
Yes.
it will impact where you fish, but also the amount of fish. It'll impact wild game. It will impact blue collar work, and not positively. Like, people think, oh, this could be jobs. People need to understand that this will be a contracted crew from out of state that comes in and rolls out a 300,000 acre facility that will roll in, build it, and leave.
And
And
you have
the
10
only
people
job
guard it. Yeah.
the only job there will be like perimeter security, not anyone working inside building anything. There's no blue collar jobs here in these buildings. If a chip or a CPU fails inside, they'll send out a team from out of state to replace it. And this will not create an ounce of economic value in this state.
my fear. I'll just say my fear is with Zinke and Downing and these Republicans that continue to win, and they're so popular here, basically because all they got to do is say they want to outlaw trans people. That's a big issue, and then the people vote for them. So because this is so important, you say it does go across party lines. How the fuck? Where's the message coming from? How do you message that, to get away from ideology and this bullshit, I mean, what is there, you talk to people in D.C. about that? Like, how's a Democrat, because I think that establishment's fucked up. The DNC establishment's, if you ask me, it's done. A lot of people don't like it, but where's the messaging with this? What is the party doing? What are you doing? Just are we now just avoiding these topics? Hoping they go away, because that does it seems as if the MAGA world and these hardcore conservatives are so concerned about men and women's sports and transgender and this and that they almost don't give a fuck if they lose their fishing rights. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think I don't mean to be an alarmist, but this is a species killer. I mean, this
Yeah.
is literally impact. You take away water and food from humanity, and what happens?
You don't have any trans people.
Yeah, right.
Well, I mean, my bigger
exactly.
question, I'm going to put on my Mike Jopek hat for a minute. Is
Oh, there we go. Put
how
your
do
tie
you,
on.
how do you, well, never. How do you not let this water down your message of we got to lower prices, we got to take care of health care, like your three big things? How do you not let this kind of
like
get
smoking,
involved
yeah.
and water that down and turn this into a, well, what does Russell actually stand for message? Like, how do you incorporate this into one of your other big three items?
The problem is this is the biggest kitchen table issue. I don't think people understand that. Yes, there's the implications to the environment, not great, but you have to understand that people have already seen relative 40% increase in utilities over the last 5 years. We're looking at another 20 to 40% in the next 3. The only way they can power these facilities, one facility, they want to put 5 in this state at minimum. One facility uses more power than the entire state grid does right now.
Jesus.
Yeah, I know. I did.
That's crazy.
I read. Yeah.
For what? So you can get a video of the cast of Goodfellas as babies? I mean,
No.
The only way you
Ed
can
could
power
chop
that,
up our videos into clips and get us 100,000 views a day.
And I can have robots run my restaurant.
the only way we can power that is they will have to supplement power generation on site, and that is why Montana is of such interest, is because of Colstrip.
Oh, yeah.
Generated power to power these facilities because it's close. They want these facilities to be on or close to the railway on the southern line, so that they can get coal directed to these facilities. That's why they want it in Billings. That's why they want it in Butte. That's why they want it in Bozeman. There's a reason that they're looking there instead of up on the north line somewhere where there's a railway there too and a lot of more open space, but it's quick, it's easy, and it's connected. The problem with that is that type of coal generation will be a direct violation of our state constitution,
Right.
for air pollution. I mean, it will cripple that. When we talk about kitchen table issues, though, what we need to focus is this one. AI of this level will take jobs away, administrative type jobs. It will not create any jobs in the state, and it will increase power costs for every family in this state. So
there's the bell ringing, is increasing your utility costs. I think that's
by a
where
lot.
the integration comes.
And they're
in.
already going up almost every year. I mean, and not just Montana. You know, in Pennsylvania, 270,000 customers lost their power. They had their power shut off because they couldn't afford the bill. It's gone up 13% in the last couple of months and over 20 in the last year and a half. And, I mean, you're starting to see this everywhere. And if you got something like this happening where they're going to need more power, and it's not only Montana. You know, they're building these data centers everywhere. I mean, everybody's power bill is going to keep going up. I mean, how is this sustainable?
How many
and
people
who's
in
it help? It's only helping. There's 8 companies in America that have 40% of the corporate wealth, and they're all AI.
Yeah.
That is nuts.
how many people in Pennsylvania?
270,000 people.
And how many billions does Fetterman sign off on sending to Israel?
No shit.
Jesus.
No
That's
shit.
a different story for a different day.
Yeah, that's a whole different ball of wax.
Let's not talk about.
Well, it's
rankings.
important to note, though, that a big push for this AI, it's the new arms race, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Because so much of our AI is going into defense technology. There's companies like Reveal AI and some of these other ones that
Palantir.
Stock hints.
Yeah.
Palantir, who happens to be Zinke's biggest donor, you guys.
Are
so,
That's
Is
Peter.
Pounds here?
Yeah, that's Peter Thiel. Yeah.
Yeah.
and so there's a reason why he doesn't care if he loses this election. I'm telling you right now. He's planning on getting so rich in the next year and a half that he can walk away after losing an election next November. If they can get this 10-year moratorium passed, he's got a 10-year slush fund coming in from the stocks that he's trading from these tech companies that are going to explode with the development of this technology at the expense of Montanans.
And not only is it not going to create Montana jobs, I think you can argue it would take Montana jobs. I honestly, I know that. And I know that's one thing that I don't think people are fearful enough. Again, people are a little more concerned with ideology than their actual income. But maybe this is something, and let's get this message out that does scare them, because a lot of jobs are going bye-bye.
I don't know.
I mean,
there might be a new tourist boom to come
tour a
see
data center?
come tour the data center, and then go to Yellowstone.
Yeah. Sounds fun.
Huge amounts of heat, huge amounts of noise. I mean, you don't want these in your community.
Sounds like Yellowstone.
I think here's
Sounds
this.
like Dave Fern.
Democrats often get accused of identifying a problem without actually having a solution. And I think the solution is this: we have to put we cannot stop AI. It's
Right.
coming.
No,
You're right.
And what we don't
we
want is
can.
another country being on the leading edge of that, to where they are the ones harboring all of our data. I don't think we want a China or a Korea or a Russia being the ones that are storing all of our information in another country either. So I see the defense aspect of this as well. But what I do think we have to do is be smart about the way that we advance this. They're trying to do it so fast that it's ultimately going to be sloppy and destructive. And so you guys mentioned desalinization. I think that has to be a real consideration. We have to, if they need to build them on a northern line like this, that they should have the cost built in to be able to do a pipeline of fresh water that's been desalinated off of the Pacific and brought in, that's not using fresh tap water sources that will ultimately dry up our aquifers and rivers.
Why don't they just give Canada a bunch of money and takes it from the Hudson Bay?
Here's
There's
the
a
thing
shit
about
ton of water up there.
desalinization. Israel's been doing it for a really long fucking time.
So is Egypt and
It's
Saudi
just not,
Arabia.
It's just not on a huge scale. If you scale
pretty
up,
big.
desalinization will become less expensive, just like solar has
Exactly
become
like
less
solar.
expensive.
Okay, now that leads me into my next question. I
The
want
water
you
in
to,
the ocean's a lot colder.
It is, and so here's what my thought is. Trump's doing all he can to get rid of solar and wind. He's taking projects that are almost done and canceling their money. Mm-hmm. He really wants to support oil and gas for power. And I think this is going to happen so fast with this AI. We're going to need so much power so fast. That means more coal, more gas, more natural gas, more extraction of everything that we can. And, therefore making these companies much richer and putting solar and wind on the back burner, because I think he wants these fossil fuel companies to make more money. I mean, does that make sense?
Yeah, he doesn't want to wait for the technology to catch up.
Half of Saudi Arabia was in Washington D.C. last week. I can tell
Oh,
you
no
that
shit.
with my own eyes.
Yeah, MBS.
Look out, reporters.
They're there. They're making backdoor deals to feed petroleum power into
Keep gas
create-
low. Yeah.
Well, it's he had MBS at the White House. It's a good thing Obama killed Osama bin Laden, or else Trump would have had him over to the West Wing for fucking hors d'oeuvres.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's crazy.
And he would have, imagine the cologne he would have sprayed him with.
Right, I know. But yeah.
Russ, how many cell phones do you have?
2.
You're a drug dealer. I just noticed that this text that was from you, I didn't know it was from you. And I'm like, who's this? He wanted to kick off the bartending tour, goddamn it, and I was out of town. All right, well, we'll pick it up after the holidays.
Yeah, I got. That's my campaign line, and obviously my personal line's the other one. But
Okay. So the other ones you want me to give out to other people, okay.
They're actually broadcasting right now on the podcast to the 2 listeners that we have who watch live.
Oh, we got like 40.
No, I think this is where I'll leave this, guys. I think I encourage anyone that's watching to take the time to actually pay attention to this AI stuff. There's a lot out there about it right now, but the other candidates in this race are not talking about it. They have no idea that this is the most important issue to Montana. This is the most important issue to America right now. Yes, healthcare is important. Yes, childcare is important. Yes, public lands are important. Yes, campaign finance reform is important. All these things are important, but they're trying to move so fast on this AI and lock states out for 10 years that we'll have no recourse. If we don't prevent the initial build out from them, we're stuck with it.
Wow.
And so I think we need to go quickly and put some guardrails in place that slow this down, do it the right way, and make sure we don't have something up that's going to screw us for a decade. So
Jesus.
No, that's well said.
Well, thanks, Russ. Keep
Before you
those
go,
Wranglers.
Russ, I'm so good. I'm going to give you 500 more bucks, and I encourage people that are watching this and listening to us to keep helping your campaign out. I'll put it in the
Thank you,
mail,
guys.
or I'll see you soon. It's coming.
Yeah. Thanks, Russ.
Yeah, I'm going to take a little. I did lose it in Vegas, but I'm getting it back here this week.
Keep those Wranglers dirty, Russ.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, man.
My
Thanks a
best.
lot.
See you,
Thank
Russ.
you, guys. Talk soon. Bye.
You know, isn't it crazy though? Like I'm looking. Okay, I get it that Trump's being paid for oil and gas and fossil fuels. Yes, I mean politicians more normally Republicans,
When have
but
they
all
not
of them.
been? Yeah.
Right.
Exactly, all of them. But to go ahead and cancel these solar projects, cancel these wind projects, cancel all this shit
Just
in
as
this
a fuck
flurry
you,
of
yeah.
fucking executive orders. And it's at first I thought it was a fuck you to environmentalists, but no, it's a fuck you to you making the money. I want my buddies in oil and gas making the money, supplying the power for these AI
why I'm
centers.
here.
They're going to make that money anyway, though. I
That's
mean,
why
we
I'm
need
here.
more energy, so why
I
does
know
it fucking matter?
That's
Just,
the thing. We're going to need so much energy.
It's like housing. You need to build more
Right.
to get people housed.
So it doesn't make
City of
sense to
Whitefish
me.
won't allow it.
It doesn't. Yeah, that's because you know, Steve.
Because we can't go up to 80 feet.
You're a ruler of Whitefish. You should know. But
I am the oligarchy.
it is you are.
So I was listening to Marketplace on that woke leftist NPR today.
Yeah.
And they were talking about how is AI a bubble, and half of them didn't think it was, a few were, but what I got out of the whole
way.
thing was if it is a bubble, Nvidia is 1/5 of the S&P right now.
Right.
1/5.
If that goes
$5
down-
trillion valuation right now.
So if it does burst, that means the whole S&P's fucked.
Oh, yeah.
And that means everybody's retirement's fucked.
Great Depression
And-
number
oh,
3 at this point. I mean, what are we on
It's
here?
not gonna be. Anyways,
That's the one thing about liberals is we have predicted 9 out of the last 3 recessions.
Yeah. Well, that's some scary shit, man. I mean, well, like I said before, I read that the other day. 40% of all corporate wealth in this country is 8 companies, and they're all AI.
Yeah.
They're all they're all in this fucking power grab war.
And they're
to
all
be
just
number
passing
one.
$10 billion IOUs back and forth.
And
between
they're
one
just
another.
pouring cash into
Where's
Canada.
the value?
Too big to fail.
Yeah.
Too big to fail. That's wherever we've heard
Don't
that
say
before.
that too loud.
God. Well,
That's crazy.
hats off, boys. We lost a good one this week.
Yep, Doge is gone.
Doge is officially dead.
Goodbye, Doge.
you
It
know.
was really fun while it lasted.
Doge fought the swamp, and the swamp won.
Doge fought the swamp, and the swamp won. You think is that why
Everybody
Elon was
knows
there
you're
last
going to
week?
dull your chainsaw when you cut a wet log.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Did he? Is that why Elon was in the White House last week? Was just like, hey man, you know what? I'm out. Sorry,
Right,
bro.
Well, I think Doge. I think
He was already out.
I think Doge did what it was intended to do, which was
Distract from Epstein.
hurt poor people, destroy
Yes.
faith in government, and enrich Elon Musk. And
Fire federal employees.
considering that he was just having dinner with President Trump and he just got $1 trillion pay package, I think that Elon's doing just fine.
Mostly
The
funded
world's
by
first
the American
trillionaire.
taxpayer.
yes.
He's gonna be the world's first trillionaire next year.
He's doing just fine.
No, he has to make 1 million. No, he has to make 1 million robots first.
Oh,
That's
what
that's
does
part of
that
the
come
pay
out to a
package.
minute?
Oh,
What's he
fuck.
making an hour?
oh God!
I
More
mean-
than we make in our whole lifetime. All of us in this room
Right.
combined.
It's like that's
me.
more than my dad made in his
So-
whole career. Working.
Not me. I'm getting paid by the city of Whitefish.
I kind of.
Yeah, not
you
Steve.
are. Yeah, Steve's good. Steve's fine. His whole family, everything's fine.
Yeah, he's
Down to the
Steve's
grandkids,
stealing more
they're all
of
taken care
the
of.
impact fees.
Well, but seriously, so Steve, Ed, why do you guys think Doge failed?
Dude, I mean, I don't even think it was a real thing. I don't. I see all this as smoke and mirrors
Okay.
and just bullshit. I mean, fail or succeed. I don't think it was going to do either.
Yeah.
You know, like just kind of a shit show, like everything else Trump does.
Yeah.
Because it was a TV show. It was just
Yeah,
a
it's-
skit on a TV show. That's
Yeah.
all it was. It was this. It was designed to allow Elon Musk to go in and to insert his viruses into the American system
Yeah.
of computing. I mean, he's got them in the IRS. He's got them in the Social Security. He's got them
Yeah.
everywhere. That was what it was
Yeah.
designed to do, so that they could do more tracking of Americans.
Yeah.
So they could keep track of who's doing what and how much they're making, and that's all it was about.
Yep.
Can you imagine the data?
They
what
don't.
it's
They
worth?
didn't care. They never once thought about how much it could actually save.
Oh.
by cutting
No,
Americans.
no, that wasn't a
It
thing.
was a political fucking stunt.
Yep.
And And nothing could be better than him with the chainsaw, because that's all it is it's a stunt.
Oh, MAGA
If
love
you want,
that
I mean,
chainsaw. Goddamn, honey, we're gonna get rich.
I know that I'm the most boring person on our podcast.
Oh, come on,
Well, I
Steve.
mean, by a long shot.
We don't dabble in truth here on the podcast.
But the fact is that is the idea behind it terrible? No. Is there waste in government? Yes.
Yeah.
But where is the real fucking waste? It's not in paying somebody.
When are you going to trust a politician?
It's
to do
not
this?
in paying somebody who's studying butterflies $34,000 a year. The waste in government is not getting the revenues that need to come in from the people who fucking evade their taxes.
Yep.
That's where the waste and fraud is.
Yep.
It's
a
in
lot
those
of it
things. It's
is.
like building a fucking ballroom.
But you're
it's
right,
like buying
boring.
planes. It's all of the shit that they're doing right out in the open that should have the chainsaw taken to it, but it's not.
I would say the three things in my mind, the three reasons Doge failed pretty much is what you just said. One, it's a total misunderstanding of what leads to deficits, right? Waste is historically been very, very small in the federal government. Two, Doge was run by arrogant, unqualified hacks like that Big Balls guy and, whatever 22-year-olds that
he's
were
still
in there.
Doge. Or
And,
he's still in the government.
and three, the whole point was to just illegally circumvent Congress.
Right.
Right? So at the end of the day, all you're left with is just this political theater, this political cut theater. That's all it was.
Yeah.
It was doomed to fail from the beginning, But again, it did its intended purpose.
It's good for ratings.
It hurt poor people. It crushed faith in the federal government, and it enriched Elon Musk.
Do you know what Big Balls is doing right now?
Probably jerking it. I don't know.
No, he's working for a government agency that was put in charge of beautifying the websites of the .gov websites for the federal government.
Christ.
He is one of the two people from Doge that is still working for the federal government.
Yeah.
And that's where they are.
We need
Is that
somebody
just because
like
he got his
that.
ass kicked?
If one of our listeners or followers could email
No, he got his
us or
ass kicked
direct
because
message
he
us
was
and tell
working.
us how to go on Instagram Live, that'd be great.
Yeah.
We need some help. If there's anybody out there that does that kind of work,
Does what?
That can tell us how to get on Instagram Live or TikTok Live. We do not know
we
how
need
to do
big
that
balls.
stuff.
Yeah.
Big balls.
Big balls.
Hey,
Big
we need you, big balls.
But it was never.
We might not be able to pay you as much as the government.
It was
does, but-
never more than a marketing gimmick without a president that's
Yes.
seriously going to cut spending.
Yes. And
Right,
I've
because
been,
only the president has the power to leverage
And all these people
Congress
coming out against-
into cutting spending.
all these
or
ex-MAGA people.
increasing revenues, because deficits are when you spend more than you bring in. Every fucking American family knows that.
Right. If anything, if there's a positive to take away from this whole Doge thing, it's that it highlights how both parties are horrendous at spending money. They just kind of differ slightly on how to piss it all away.
Right.
And they're not going to codify any of the cuts they did find. Meanwhile, they all got rich and they're fucking laughing at you.
Yeah.
That's what this is all about.
Yeah, it's kind of. Yeah, you're right.
Yep, that's all it is.
That's where like a guy like Russ is such a breath of fresh air.
And it only took him 4 months to do that.
Rico, can say what you want about Graham Plattner, and his past or whatever, but at least these guys are out there being passionate about, listen, shit is fucked. Both parties are fucked. And I think it's easier to run as a Democrat because it is all inclusive. It really is.
much more than the right.
More than the right. The right is just set in their ways, and it is what it is. And most of these people, they still support a thing like Doge. They still, because it's a Trump idea, so it's great. It's going to work. And no matter what, nothing he says is great or works. He didn't end 9 fucking wars. He doesn't do all this shit that everybody fucking believes he does.
Right.
But
he promised $2 trillion in cuts.
We got a Facebook message. You see the one about
$2 trillion.
What are you going to cash that check when you get it from Trump?
Yes.
You dumb fucking motherfucker.
It's never
Fuck
coming,
you.
but
It's never
yes, I
coming, you
will.
fucking moron.
It's like $2 trillion in cuts.
If
When
we-
you take
again-
when you take into account like federal employee severance packages and productivity losses, they lost
And
money
the cost
on
to hire him back.
right. They lost money on Doge. It was
Yep.
an amateurish debacle from the start. But to answer that lunatic's question that direct messaged us, of course I will cash the check. What are you kidding me? What am I going to gamble with?
Yes.
The other thing about
got
Doge is that
hookers.
there's this big bogeyman idea that there's all this waste and fraud
nails on a
in
chalk.
American government.
Right.
And you know what it reminds me of? It
It's in
reminds
the
me of
Pentagon.
It reminds me of
Yes.
this huge issue we had with short-term rentals. We still have it. We have the short-term rentals in Whitefish, right?
Yep.
Everybody thinks the price of housing is so high because short-term rentals, because there's so many legal short-term rentals in Whitefish that is driving up the price of housing.
There's only like 600.
We had a law firm that came in and said, "Hey, we're going to come in and we're going to find all these find all these short-term rentals, and we're going to sue all these people that are doing it."
I thought you just hired somebody to do it.
No, they came to us and said, "We'll do it for you."
Oh.
And
they said there's not nearly many illegal ones as you think.
They wanted to go after the legal ones.
Oh.
And they said, "Wow, there's nothing wrong with the people who are doing it legally."
Right, yeah.
And
Yeah.
and we said, "Well, we want you to take on Airbnb and VRBO and say, hey, you're advertising all these legal things," and
gotcha.
they're like, "We're not here to do that.
We're not
Yeah.
doing
We're here to
that.
make you money off of prosecuting these
We thought you
people
were
who
gonna
are
be-
doing it illegally
Yeah.
or doing it illegally in a legal zone."
We thought you were
And
gonna
that's
be
what it reminds me of.
Kicking
I mean, that's-
indoors and fucking
Right.
get out.
No, but it just
Yeah.
turned into this. No, it turned
Yeah.
into a giant nothing burger, and that's what
Wow.
Doge is.
Steve Quinnell, Whitefish City, we have a warrant.
And not to say that there are people doing it illegally, but
Yeah.
that's not. That's part of the problem.
Half
but
the
it's
people
not.
on my street are
It
doing
is
it.
not the problem.
Yeah.
You know how
Life Noel did it illegally right across from the mayor's office.
Oh yeah, life.
And
Yeah.
he was charging $30 a night to sleep on his couch in his living room with chickens running around. That
sounds like life.
It's like what a great experience coming
Yeah.
to Montana. We had two old ladies coming to the bar, and they're like, "Hey, how do you they like it here? We love it, but we're looking for a different Airbnb. Do you know of where are you staying at? Well, just down the. Are you staying at Life's? I knew right away.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we're on a cot. She was on a cot. I was on a couch, and there's chickens running around in the living room. I'm like, yeah, that's life.
I don't think
it was
we
only
should-
$30, but
I don't think we should make that illegal. By the way.
no, I think that's great.
That should be part of the.
and you
That should
probably
be
can't
part of
even
the
have
experience.
chickens. He's probably not zoned for chickens, but Life didn't care.
No, those are okay all over the state.
Oh,
all
you
over
have
the
chickens
city.
in town?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
Everybody,
get chickens in
Oh,
town.
that's
You
stupid.
can't have cows now.
No swine.
No.
No
I don't think you can have goats
no
either. I don't know.
ungulates,
I
right?
don't
That's
have
a
I've seen some
hooven,
goats.
animal. Is it hooven or hooven?
That must have been during your first
Yeah, I
term.
think it's hooven.
Hooven.
Yeah, it's during mine. Yeah.
Moving. All right.
Well, I want to talk about one thing else about
Yep,
Doge. I
go
was
ahead.
thinking about this after I saw the picture of Elon with the chainsaw. I was like, what are the liberals going to do when we win in 2026 or maybe potentially in 2028? What is going to be our chainsaw moment? What's it going to look like?
Project 2029.
I think
We're gonna
it'll
have
be someone dyeing their hair blue live in the West Wing. Or
You know
you'd
what,
be
mutilation
taking a
surgery.
chainsaw to something else.
It'll be a lottery for gender mutilation surgeries.
right. Yeah, exactly.
I won.
Yeah, Dr. Edmund.
Yes. I'm
All
getting a
right.
pussy.
Let's see that wiener.
I'll throw in my vote is for live pardoning of
paper
Luigi
cutter out.
Like
Yes, yeah. Oh God, yes.
an absolute live pardoning.
Free
of him.
Luigi, man.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Dude, that's like we were talking before.
The Democrats are so boring; they don't have anything to do. Like, what are they going to do?
Maybe the next one.
We're going to
will
give you
pardon
health care.
everybody. Maybe
We
the next
won.
one's going to pardon all the
We're going to
people.
lower your Twinkie prices again.
Who could a Democrat
We're going to
pardon
let you
right
get
now?
soda
That would
on
be interesting.
Snap. They don't have
Yeah,
like
who could a Democrat
What's our
pardon?
shtick? What are we going to do if
Who
we
would they
win?
pardon? Who would a Democrat
know.
pardon?
I don't.
Hunter
I,
Biden.
I can't think.
He's already been pardoned.
Oh,
yeah.
who could what?
Who could a Democrat pardon?
Like
We've already
Trump's
pardoned
pardoned
Hunter.
thousands of people.
Luigi on-
Oh yeah, I guess a Democrat did, but the Democrat's not going to do that.
That'd be
you know.
wild.
All right, sorry.
No, you're fine. So MTG is gone. Another one bites
Real
the
quick,
dust.
this is from a fan, friend of the pod, friend of the pod.
Nice.
I
yeah.
saw that. I did.
Yeah.
I
What
saw
did he
that
just
one.
say?
Yeah,
it
I
it
see
was just
that.
here a
New
second
MAGA.
ago. Oh,
new MAGA
who was
merch.
it? I'll find his name here. Eugene Mears. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for the
Eugene.
laugh
I
there.
like it.
Right. Is that Trump? Well, I don't know. I
That
can't
was
tell.
on the thread that I had that other picture of. There was whatever. There's a lot of good
That's-
memes out there right now. I mean,
that-
I do think again. Last week we said the dam had some cracks. Things are changing. You know,
It certainly feels that way.
Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't trust her at all. I
No,
don't know.
fuck
I
no,
mean,
dude.
there's something for her to gain by doing this. But okay. But think of it this way: maybe she's leaving because she was threatened. Be like, listen, you're a fucking loudmouth bitch, and we don't want this Epstein shit out. So
or
you're
it could
fucking
be,
quitting, or we're going to murder your family.
Or it could be that her lifelong pension just kicked in a couple days ago.
It sure did.
And she's enriched herself by millions of dollars in her short time in Congress.
We want to see her capital gains returns.
You know, she entered Congress in 2021 with a net worth of $700,000.
Oh, I thought she.
Well,
was
that
poor.
counts like a house, and all that.
Oh, that's
stuff.
true. So that's middle class.
And
at
$700,000 greater than my net worth.
And in 2026,
you own a house in Whitefish. You have more money than her.
And in 2026, she'll leave with a net worth of $25 million.
So where do you get the numbers from? $25 million? Like, how do we?
So
she
it's
just has
like-
to disclose her income. She doesn't have to disclose how she made it.
Her stock holdings, things like that. Congress is just a big insider trading scheme.
Of course, without a doubt, and I think it always has.
But it's
been.
weird. Joe Rogan's silent on this. I don't.
Yeah, a lot of people are.
It's so
That is
weird.
weird.
Well,
He mentions Pelosi all the time, but
yeah.
well, anyway.
you know, I mean, you guys know that I do have a strong Christian bent to me, and
That's
I
true.
believe in
Really?
forgiveness. I do.
That's true.
I do
guess I didn't
believe
know
in
that.
forgiveness, and
I've never seen a Christian drink like you do.
I want.
I have.
Well, really, you never met any Catholic
Never
priests?
met a priest? Yeah.
I mean, it's not wine.
Been
but
to Carroll
I
College?
suppose, yeah.
Yeah.
you know, I got to take her to task, though. I believe I believe every human is should be allowed to have forgiveness, but I have to take her to
that.
task. You have to come back, and you have to
Redeem.
You have to redeem yourself. And you know,
What could
in
she
her
possibly
statement,
do?
well, listen to her statement. She said, "I have too much self-respect to continue on."
I never saw
for
that.
myself. That was one of the things she
Liar!
said. Exactly.
Remember that?
But what I want her to overcome, or I wrote down a list of things. So like when you called the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas and Sandy Hook, when you
Oh.
called into question those mass shootings at schools
Yep.
as to whether they were hoaxes or if there was what the truth
Falling
was
into the
about those.
Alex Jones rabbit hole.
When you called masks during COVID-19, when you likened them to the Holocaust.
Holocaust, yep.
When you gave your full support to QAnon, when you said that California fires were started by Jewish space lasers, when you said
she may be onto something.
when you said the hurricanes in 2024 that went through North Carolina and caused all the flooding were controlled by Democrats, when you showed a poster
Well,
of Hunter
clickbait.
Biden naked in sexual positions in Congress,
on the House floor.
It's always so
That's
funny
great.
when
they
you
do that.
posted an anti-trans poster outside your office because there was a
Yep.
Democrat right across the hall.
Yep, that was trans.
When you endorsed violence against Obama, Hillary, and Nancy Pelosi, Marjorie, you need to account for those things, and then
Testify.
there could
Well,
be
she apologized on CNN. I
then-
think she did.
not for those. She
No,
didn't say.
she said
I'm sorry
everything.
for this.
She said,
I'm sorry for this.
everything.
That's not enough.
Well,
Because we need to put her in a 12-step program if
Right.
she really wants. I mean, MAGA has to go through a 12-step program to get out of this
They
thing.
can't-
Can you imagine if she
And
was
that
your
is where,
fucking
and
wife?
she needs to
Holy fuck.
take account for
They-
all of those things.
They can't count to 12.
And then maybe forgiveness.
Honey, you can't
is
have sex with our
available
daughter.
to her. I mean, she is getting out because she's rich now,
Yeah.
and she's made a
she's
name
got a
for
motive. There's
herself.
something.
Exactly.
She's got something.
She's going
got
to
a plan.
she's going to be on a TV show, whether it's The View or
View,
Fox
something
News
like that.
The View.
or whatever
But
it
what do you
is.
think? What do you think of
she's
the
gonna be there.
possibility that she was threatened?
But those are all
Because she's the one that's pushing the Epstein thing harder than anybody else.
Well, it's like, so she said, look, this administration treated everyone in the House like garbage. There are more people that are going to quit. This is a
She
tinder
says Mike
box
Johnson is
ready to
treating
go
like
up.
garbage, yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, Marjorie, maybe stand up for yourself when it comes to the big, beautiful bill and don't get fucking dog walked by the
Yeah.
Trump administration.
She's
you know,
happy to sign
like
that
Steve
fucking
said,
thing.
You're out here, talking shit about victims of school shootings. In my mind, good riddance. Sucks to suck, loser. You'll get no fucking sympathy from me.
Yeah, but no,
Yeah,
Jamie
no.
Raskin said, we'll welcome her into the Big Ten of the Democrats.
Nah, I mean,
and
maybe.
AOC said,
No, it's just. I mean, I don't look. I don't trust her for a
Jasmine
second.
Crockett said, "Did you see her
she's
interview?"
still voting. She's still voting for all the bullshit that
Exactly.
Well,
she.
she will because she has to. Her constituents want that from her, without a doubt.
What the fuck does
But-
she care? She's retiring in a month.
well,
If her conscience really bothered her, she would.
Yeah.
Her
Google,
votes would show it.
Google what Jasmine Crockett said. It was fucking hilarious. I forgot I was
God.
going to write it down, but it was really good.
It is. I always forgot. It was always my favorite part about the Biden years is when they would show those naked pictures of Hunter Biden. And they'd be like, God, look at him. He's there with another model again, and his hog is so big. It's just, God, is there? And I'd be like,
so fit.
oh, he's just doing coke with models. And it's like, this is the fucking coolest man in politics. This is
Without a
crazy.
doubt.
And then he got
All we've
kicked
got
out
is
of the,
Jeffrey Epstein.
He got kicked out of the Navy for doing too much blow.
Yeah. Yeah, Jasmine, she was, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, that's about right. Look.
It is. It is right. You know,
Sucks- sucks to
now,
suck.
now you're sensitive?
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
you're a sensitive woman?
Sucks to
what the
suck. Fuck off.
Yeah,
Fuck
exactly.
off.
I mean, yeah, it's like that meme that was out there that said Marjorie Taylor Greene, you know, she was against.
She could be a stunt double on Planet of the Apes.
Right. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Life's rough.
She
Wear a
talked
helmet,
shit about
Marjorie. I don't know what
Democrats
to tell you. Look, I
for
don't know
all
what to
these
tell you.
years and fomented violence against Democrats for all these years.
Big time.
And then for 2 days, she
Can't take it.
she gets one.
Someone
2 days,
wrote her
somebody-
an email with an exclamation point in it,
Yeah.
and now she needs a fucking safe space.
Right.
Give me a break.
No, it wasn't that. It was the all caps message
Yeah,
that Trump
right.
sent
Yeah.
from
I
his
mean,
golden
I don't know.
toilet.
It just, I don't even, I mean, to me, it seems as if it's a way to distract again from the Epstein thing, to get it out of the news and maybe never bring it up to a vote. You know, maybe Massey quits next. Maybe Bobart quits next. You know,
When I want to hear
Bobert's
about
gonna quit.
Epstein again, I want to hear about Epstein when
Criminal charges are filed.
Yeah, well.
I really do.
I know. I do too. I do too.
But if you let it go, it's going to go away. If you don't
When
talk about it, it'll go away. It was gone for like 2 months.
I think it's hard for the women who were abused in this situation to have to hear it in the news all the time and know that nothing is fucking being done.
Well, then why don't they say something?
Why don't they say something?
Yes.
Name their
They know the
probably-
fucking government isn't going to do. I know they signed NDAs. They've made millions of dollars off of this for sure, and they can't say anything because of NDAs. But I said this to Ryan last week on the show. I go, "What jury's going to convict them?"
Ed, this is like saying,
Right.
"Hey, you're a battered fucking woman. Why don't you come out against your husband who's been beating the shit out of you for years?"
Well, you just said that
It's your fault.
we don't want to put
That's
him
what
through
that
this.
sounds like
we don't
to me,
wanna,
Ed.
No, but
Victim blaming.
You just said that you don't want to put him through this, and all this. But it's like, and then they want answers. They want something done. I think it's going to be up to them. I'm just saying. I think it's up to them. Our Congress isn't going to do it.
Ed wants to know why
Ed.
their skirts were
I'm
so
sorry.
short.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
Why were they
Ed.
so attractive?
You're
it was their fault for being attractive.
You're sounding a lot like oh god. Oh, god.
Yeah. Well,
All right, I might have to quit the podcast.
I mean,
No.
I think it's reasonable to think.
Embrace debate.
It's reasonable to assume that our government will never release this because it's too much information, and the only people that can release
That's why I
it
don't
are the
care about
victims.
releasing it. That's why I want.
You
That's
want
why I
nobody
don't
to get in trouble.
No.
You wanted to go away.
Okay,
And just
I
not
guess
What
think
is
about it.
releasing it gonna? What is it releasing it to you gonna do
I
to,
guess what
to get
The
justice for these
names of
women?
of the criminals. That's what I'm
not-
saying.
what
The
I would
names of
say-
the
Can
criminals.
Can
We
you
know
file
Prince Andrew
charges?
was one of them.
Can you file charges against these people?
No. I'm just saying. So basically, you're saying it should go away.
No.
And I don't need to know who did it.
I'm not saying
'Cause
that
I
at
think the
all.
American
I'm
public
saying
wants to know.
I'm saying you shouldn't know about it until the fucking files are until somebody's charged criminally
Yeah.
with it.
Right.
Because
But
all
I
this
don't- but I'm
furor
saying it ain't
over
gonna
it.
happen. I'm just saying it's not going to happen. Nobody's going down for this.
Well, then what help does it do to these women to release that?
What about this?
Because then they would get in trouble. If the names were out there, you would get in trouble. If people
By
actually
whom?
name somebody
So-
by
By
the
whom?
courts.
There is
By the courts? The courts. I don't think you understand the criminal justice system.
Now, hang on.
The courts can't file
So say
charges.
if I sold
the court of public
I'm
opinion.
going to say this in terms that you can maybe understand. Okay, I steal a fucking car and Ryan's with me.
Yep.
Okay, and I don't say nothing. They're looking for this guy that caught the car, that stole this car, and I don't have to say nothing because I don't want to get in any trouble. I'm telling Ryan, you don't say a goddamn thing either. I'm going to give you money.
Yeah.
You just don't say nothing. And someday Ryan says something. I'm going to fucking prison, you idiot. I'm going to go to prison because somebody ratted me out. That's all I'm saying. These women say it. These people will be held accountable. But if the names are never out there, nobody's getting held accountable. Do you get it that way? Do you understand what I'm saying? If I commit a crime,
They've
much
already
like these
given
men
all
did,
their depositions. The information
there's no
is
names
there.
out there. That we don't, we don't know anybody.
What does out there mean? Out there, the people who can file charges have the information. Releasing all that to the public does not help to
Well, I
file
would
the
assume
charges.
If you're releasing it to the public, you're releasing it to the authorities that would prosecute.
No, the authorities have it. The DOJ has the. Where do you think the file is? The file is with the DOJ.
So you
the
think,
Department of Justice.
So then, by your logic, nothing will ever happen. Nobody will ever get convicted. That's what you're saying. Because what I'm saying is, if the names got out in the public, I think shit would happen.
What he's saying is he doesn't want to hear about it until charges are
No,
filed.
no, that part I get. But you're making I just want to get this clear. You're saying that everybody knows who is guilty. You're saying the Department of Justice knows everybody's guilty, and I believe that.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not going to do anything. We're not holding them accountable.
So,
they're
so
not
you
going to do
think
anything.
if they release it
so
to
if
the
they
public,
release the names
that's
to the
going to
public,
put pressure on the DOJ?
Oh, without a doubt.
So how did that work with
Without a doubt.
How did that work with OJ?
But I think it's a little
He
different.
was innocent.
He was charged.
Yeah, he went through a court process and he was innocent.
He's found not guilty.
And then we can, let these people go through the court process and be charged. All I'm saying is, if we never know the names of these people, these are never released to the public, nobody will ever get in trouble.
Steve, do you know who?
So you're saying that the courts that the Department of Justice is not going to do its job.
No, they
until
haven't yet.
until the people
Joe Peck,
know.
hear my prayer.
Yes.
Because the Department of Justice
Well, I'm just wondering, how do they ever get held accountable?
is going to succumb to public pressure rather than looking
Yes.
at the evidence in the cases before they file charges.
I think
if that is true, we have no criminal justice system in this country at all.
You're getting close. You're getting
we
close.
don't. No, it's obvious. No, Steve, all I'm saying is I want these people to be held accountable, and I'm not seeing it happening. So if you're telling me the truth, you're saying that everybody in government knows. The DOJ, they know. They know who did it. They know who's guilty. But they're not doing anything about it. So I'm saying they're not going to do anything about it. No, they're never going to go to court. But if the public knew, they could pressure their politicians and vote them the fuck out of office if they don't do anything about it. And that's what my hope.
The politicians can't file charges.
No, I'm not saying that. No, I'm not saying. But they can apply pressure. They can pass a motherfucking bill. They can.
To
they
do
can,
what?
To press charges. To legislate this. I mean, they just. Sorry.
This is not a legislative issue.
Well, it might have to be. You don't think Watergate would have been any of these crimes? I mean,
They can't legislate a crime. They can't legislate.
They can pass a law
that says
they can pass a law. They can
that
pass
we
a
have to
resolution.
prosecute this person.
They can pass a law. They can pass a resolution. They can do a lot of things. You're just saying they're not going to do anything.
I'm not saying that.
Well, you said that.
Steve, do you know who Stanley Kubrick is?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So
Full Metal
now
Jacket.
allow me to interject myself in this stimulating
you're the lawyer.
conversation.
Yeah.
You're just
The lawyer's
who
not
are
saying
these
any
two
of that.
fucking idiots?
There is a theory.
I'm not saying
There is a
nothing.
theory. So the final movie he made before he had a heart attack was Eyes Wide Shut. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
Yes.
Tom Cruise, Nicole Kidman, where he uncovers this,
I never saw it, but I
this
heard it.
ring. The
There was
whole
a lot of nudity.
The
I'm sure you
climax.
watched
The
it.
climax of the movie is him at this huge, orgy, and there's Tom
Kubrick?
Cruise.
Oh.
He
Tom
sneaks into
Cruise,
this orgy, and
Nicole
there's
Kidman.
there's
Must be a
poli-
movie.
there's-
He's too short to get
there's
one
like
of those.
politicians, dignitaries, the whole thing, and they're all in these crazy masks having this huge orgy. There is a conspiracy theory that they had Stanley Kubrick killed, that he did not have a heart attack, and they killed him because his final film was a way of pulling back the curtain on Epstein and the pedophilia in the government. So,
Really?
So there is a chance that maybe
I never heard
maybe someone that Ed's saying like I can't identify this person because there were 4 of them and they were all in these crazy masks, and that's why no charges have been filed, and that's why no one has said anything.
No.
We
Now
have
it's-
just turned into the redneck Joe Rogan.
Well, I mean,
podcast.
it's an out there theory. I happen to believe it's 100%
Well, the
true
DOJ
because I
knows
love
and
Eyes
they're not
Wide
doing
Shut.
anything about it. We're fucked. You're saying we're fucked.
Because you watch that movie now and it's like, okay, so like a bunch of politicians got together and like had consensual sex with
Yeah, big deal.
prostitutes. Like it just
Yeah.
seems kind of like quaint.
Normal.
It's like, oh, okay.
Seems like what they do.
Whatever. But when you think about like, oh, these are like, he can't actually show pedophilia, but it's like they're a stand-in for like, what he was really trying to say. It starts to make a little bit of sense. But
Is Kubrick in the files?
again, I don't think he is. I think they had him. They may have had him killed because he was trying to explain. Now this was 1999.
You knew about the files.
This was 1999. So
Yeah, Bohemian Grove. This is the whole
yeah,
like,
exactly.
Yeah, the,
This goes deep. And again, this is why I don't like talking Epstein too much because it makes me feel schizophrenic.
I was living in my car in 1999.
You
so
like talking about Epstein.
I do
just
like talking
fine.
about Epstein, but for the same reason, it makes me feel a little weird.
I'm just disheartened because like if you're right, Steve,
I am
the DOJ
disheartened too.
knows we're
I'm
fucked.
disheartened too. I
We're
am too.
fucked. But you're saying
And
we're
I
fucked,
miss
and
Joe
that pisses
Peck
me
too,
off.
Well,
guys.
I think we spend an enormous amount of time and an enormous amount of energy talking
Yes.
about it, and I feel for
Okay,
these poor
well,
women
let's-
that.
give me
Just
one
let
more
me,
minute,
let me
we'll be
finish.
done.
Let me finish.
Okay.
I just feel for the poor women that have to listen to people like us continue to talk about it.
I feel that.
They don't
knowing,
have to watch it.
knowing that there's that justice is not
I bet a
coming
lot
for
of them
them.
don't watch
That's,
TV and don't
That's
watch
why
this
I'm.
stuff.
That's what.
I'm
That's
assuming. I'm
that's
assuming
what
they
I'm
don't
trying to
watch.
say. Would you stop? Would you let me finish?
Yeah.
because I'm trying to identify with the victims of this, because the victims of this are people kids that I work with every fucking day, and now they're adults, and it's been a trauma that they have experienced, and then most of them are probably still experiencing that trauma all the time. And the more we talk about it with no justice, I think it just reinflicts that trauma over and over again.
So you say legislation doesn't have anything to do with it, but they just voted on a resolution to release the files.
Well, I think
obviously legislation has something to do with it.
Releasing the files has nothing to do with the charges.
What Steve is saying is there's already laws on the books saying it's illegal to rape.
Right.
So they should use those laws to charge someone with a crime.
You just said the DOJ knows. They know. They know the names. They know everybody. But they're not prosecuting. That sucks.
Yeah, it
That
does.
sucks. That's
us,
where I said, then where are we left? What are we left with? I don't want to bring these victims out in the. I mean, they're out in the public.
Well, they're not going to prosecute him. He's their boss.
They're talking to the press right now. They're talking to Marjorie Taylor Greene. There's 20 victims out there in front of the Capitol steps.
Yeah.
Saying, please release the files. They want these people to get in trouble really bad. You're worried about the victims. So am I. They're on TV every fucking day asking for justice, and our Department of Justice is not giving it to them. Our legislators are trying. Only one guy out of 500 people voted not to release them. I mean, that's a big deal to me.
And
I do think, yes, if the names are out there, say if there are 1,800 names of all the most powerful people in the world comes out, and these people, they say these are the people involved, I think you'd see some shit happening. I do.
Okay.
But, I don't think our DOJ will do it. I think you're just going to have to take public pressure.
Ultimately, I want everybody to know that I feel for these women.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine the trauma they've been through.
And I think a lot of people feel for them.
And I hope that the constant talk about it doesn't just reinflict that trauma over and over again with no justice.
And I'm glad there's Republicans out there on the
and maybe
steps of
if
Capitol
releasing the
too.
files puts enough pressure to bring people to justice, then
do it.
I guess that's what we need
That's what I'm
to
saying. I just want
Eyes
something
wide
to be
shut.
done.
Check it out.
And
Makes sense.
God damn, that sucks. I never. Even
And I don't
heard of that,
disagree
and
with.
I don't even want to know that.
I don't disagree with releasing it. I just get tired of talking about it until we have some sort of
not at all.
justice. So,
Steve, you mentioned.
Just like we like to talk about how funny Trump is.
Yes,
Steve don't like that one either.
So, Steve, you mentioned.
not funny.
You mentioned being a teacher, and
He's the biggest douchebag that's ever lived.
You mentioned being a teacher and being
Some
around.
people told me I'm great.
And being around kids, and that was the first thought I had about our next topic, Trump and Momdami meeting.
He said it today that he thinks Trump's a fascist, even though he just met the other day. I think that was great.
It made
I
me.
expected to see a picture of him bouncing him on his knee.
It made me. It made me feel like. It made me feel like.
Funny little brown man.
It made me feel like, and I'm sure you see this all the time when you have teenage girls that hate each other first period study hall, and then by lunch they're on Snapchat like with Becky, my bestie. Like that's exactly what I thought of, where it's like, wait, Trump's been talking shit about this guy for God knows how long, tried to torpedo his campaign, and then he was just enamored with him when he came to the White House.
Why do you think? Because he's a nice looking guy who's very charismatic.
Because Trump doesn't care about ideology he
yes,
has no
and he's
principles
popular,
whatsoever, and he's popular, and he's handsome, and he's got swagger.
Himself.
Yes. I mean,
it's like Dancing with the Stars or whatever fucking show he was on.
you could see it on Trump's face when he'd look at Momdami and be like, I wish my chud idiot son, Don Jr., had as much swagger as this guy. Like, he loved this guy.
Yeah.
But, it's these photos are great. And, I guess my question to you, Steve, is which one's the socialist here? Is the mayor of New York City forcing NVIDIA to give shares to the government?
There's a
the mayor of New York City?
No, there's a fascist there and there's a socialist there. Well, I mean, there's a difference between socialism and fascism, and that's what people don't
One
really
person
understand.
can be both of those, I think.
Well, no, fascism
Mussolini.
Fascism is a little bit different because fascism, the nation is the most important thing.
Yeah.
Socialism, the people are the most important thing. And so that's the big difference that people don't really understand.
MAGA's not getting that one.
No, they're not going to get that one because they don't equate. They have a different definition of human than other people.
I did see Momdami was catching a bunch of heat for saying, like, why would you even meet with Trump? Like, this is, so unbecoming of him and his whole campaign.
Everybody says that
but
when they meet with
Trump. Did say he said yesterday that he's backing off sending the Guard to New York City, the National
He said
Guard.
in case they need him.
Yep.
Because if they ask for him, I'll send him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that whole thing. It's another smoke and mirrors. It's all bullshit. Like I was just in Vegas for 2.5 weeks. I did not get serviced by one white person. I'm talking to you. I golfed about fucking 12 times. I ate dinner every night for 17 nights out somewhere. I ate breakfast. Not one white person served me the entire fucking time. And I asked, drivers too.
Can I have a white person, please? Is that what you asked?
I
tried,
asked.
yeah.
I mean, I want my food clean,
He's on some list now. Yeah.
But I'm telling you, it was, so I talked to a lot of them. I go, you worried about ICE?
bad.
Well, they've been here, but, a lot of them are like.
Well, Nevada voted for Trump.
We don't think they're, that it would just, Vegas is so bad right now. It's so dead. So the night of the F1
in terms of
race,
no one's there
on Thursday. It would just devastate their economy much more if they started taking these employees away what they have. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's already a lot of layoffs and stuff. So Thursday night was the F1 practice night, a big night in Vegas. I Googled it. 300,000 people come to this.
Wow.
We're at the MGM Grand Thursday night. We could play cards wherever we wanted. We could play any machine, walk right through. No, you're not bumping into people. Vegas is nothing like it's been the last couple of years. And at first, because I want to go experience and see how it was, because everybody says how dead it is,
Yeah.
And it really was. I mean, Fremont Street, you could play cards for the first time in years. It was just not that.
Did you go to
busy.
Circa?
Yeah, we did. It's so fucking loud. I spent like 2 hours there. I was like,
Circa.
I'm too old for it, I guess. I don't like it. But
Don't tell Johnny Joseph that.
But all the he was there for like 2 weeks, never even called me. He was busy with hookers
Son of
for
a
sure.
bitch,
Oh,
yeah.
that's where he gets his love.
Yeah.
And I feel bad for a guy like that, but I gotta let him have his fun. I left him alone.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, getting back to the thing about Momdami is that Democrats welcome going to the places where they are not invited. I mean, that's one of the things that I'm sure Mike Jopek would have said if he were here tonight. God rest his soul.
Right.
That that he would have said,
I know he's
"Go,
looking up at us right now. Just
go where you're not invited."
right.
And I guess he was invited there, but go where you're not really welcome.
Well, Bill Maher went there.
And could you
And Bill
imagine?
Maher
I mean,
the next day said, "Yeah,
Well, but-
still Trump's a piece of shit.
but
I went to
here's-
dinner with him.
here's
I
the-
have to talk to him, but he's still a piece of shit. But we
Here's,
got to talk."
here's the difference.
I respect that.
Momdami went there and he didn't water down his message like Bill Maher and Ezra Klein do, where they say, "Look, we need to become more right wing, guys. We need to move farther to the right." Momdami went there and he called him a fascist to his fucking face.
Well, Trump said, "Go ahead
did?
and answer.
Yeah.
It's easier that
Yeah.
way."
Yeah.
Well, I said, you call him a fascist. Would you like to say?
Yeah, he said, "Do you still think he's a
But
fascist?"
Trump
And he
goes like
said-
this. He goes, "It's okay. Just
Yeah.
say yes."
He
it's
said, "Do you still
easier."
think he's a fascist?" Momdami went, "Well, when I said that," and Trump went, "It's okay. You can say it." And he goes, "Yes, I still think he's a fascist." Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
are you sure that wasn't the Saturday Night Live skit
I
that
am
came out of this
positive.
meeting?
The one thing I
Okay.
think a lot of people don't understand about politics too is a lot of these people.
Well, the
went to
whole thing
Yale,
was a Saturday Night
They
Live
went to
skit.
Harvard.
It was-
They've had debate classes.
Sure,
they
it'll be there.
debate, and they're friends. And when it
Yeah.
comes to debate, you get ruthless. And you're friends at the end of it. Most of these people are friends.
Well,
we look at it. When
it used to be that
when
way.
we say Rubio, and Cruz and J.D. Vance, the things they said about Trump, holy fuck! If somebody said that about me, I'd want to kill that bitch, and I'd never talk to him again.
Yeah.
But I'm dumb. I'm
Well-
uneducated. I'm not a Ivy League debater like these people all are.
Yeah.
So they're just used to that world, and your average voter doesn't know that's how it works.
Well, the reason why I put this story in here, and I thought it was one of the most fascinating stories of the week, is so there was another piece where they asked Trump. They said, "Do you still think Momdami is a Marxist?" And he said, I quote, "I never said that. He's my friend." So, like, it must be. Well, it's funny to me, but it must be infuriating to be MAGA and watch Trump on live TV call this Momdami guy a good guy and basically undercut every attack all these MAGA people have made on him over the
Yep.
last month.
Now he's fine.
Where MAGA's been like, "Don't you dare call me a fascist. That's a slur. That's a hate crime. You're endangering my life by calling me
Kid
a
Rock
fascist.
will never play in New York
You
again.
can't call me a fascist. You
Right.
liberals
Kid
are out
Rock
of
will
control."
never-
And then
Kid Rock
Staten
will
Island is
and
very
then-
sad about that.
So they say, "Don't call me a fascist." How dare you? You're putting my life in danger. And then Trump on live TV says, "It's okay, Momdami. You can say that. You can call me a fascist." Was it worth it, MAGA, being an insufferable gadfly for all these years, alienating your families, just to have Trump make you eat shit yet again on
Do
TV?
you think they actually saw any of that?
Enjoy Thanksgiving alone, you
Do
losers.
you think? Do you think they saw any of that? Do you think Fox News actually showed that clip?
I've been
to
seeing
their?
it everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. It is. And it
I
just
didn't
shows,
see it, and I'm a-
It just shows you how like you know, your normal people, like we get riled up, we get triggered. The politicians know it.
Yep.
They're all friends behind closed doors. Always have been.
Yep. They said,
know?
would you feel comfortable living under a Momdami administration in New York City? And Trump said, oh, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, no problem.
Of course.
Yeah, I would live there.
Meanwhile, you've got
I might come
Jesse.
back someday.
You've got that fucking dolt Jesse Waters, and you know that dumb shit Greg Gutfield that are being like, God, New York's terrifying. You can't take the subway. It's dangerous.
Everybody's leaving.
It's a war zone. And meanwhile, their cult leader is saying, "Hey, he's a good guy. He's my friend. He's not a Marxist."
They don't need the guard. It's good.
So you're saying that the ideas that Momdani had are not that bad of ideas, that they're actually going to help people?
Turns out the
and Trump could
wants the
actually
affordability.
live there.
He said he's working on affordability. I like that.
Turns out the grocery stores that Momdami is talking about is exactly how they do it on a fucking Air Force base. It's called a commissary.
Oh yeah, the place where all Trump's administration has moved to.
It's kind of like Obamacare. Like, you know what? You don't like it. It hates you. You can go to State Farm and go pay for any policy you want, bitch.
If you like
Anytime you want. You can get private
If
insurance.
you like your
They don't
doctor,
sell,
you
State
can
Farm
keep
doesn't
your
sell
doctor.
health
You
insurance.
can keep your doctor for the price.
I am a gay man. Okay, so speaking of Momdami,
All right.
the House voted to condemn
right after.
condemn socialism.
It was,
What
right
was that
before, it
about?
was right before
It
he
was
came.
right before he showed up.
before
Right
he
before he
showed
showed up.
I mean, they're not even there, and then they go there to vote on this.
I know.
They're
And they
doing
had,
America's work right now. I mean, that's what they
What
got
is
back
that?
to work for. This is the Mike Johnson. This is the Mike Johnson Congress
You
right
know,
here.
This
Is MAGA Mike.
who brought
we
this
gotta.
up?
We're bringing forward
it
all
was a
of the
resolution, right?
cultural
It was a
issues.
Who introduced it?
Some people talked about it, but there was a big speech by this woman named a Representative Young Kim from California. She's this woman from
She's the one that brought it up.
I don't know if she brought it up, but she spoke a lot about it. She said, "My family lived the horrors of communism firsthand in Korea. I'll always fight for the free market system that allowed my family to achieve their American dream." So 2 points on this. One, if you don't know the difference between communism, capitalism, and socialism, you're too fucking stupid to be in Congress, okay?
And you shouldn't vote.
And
Yes.
number two, I did a little research on this woman, and I think she's just straight up fucking lying.
Is she from Orange County?
Well, no, she was born in South Korea in 1962 and left South Korea in 1975. She was
63
born.
years old.
She was born 9 years after the Korean War. So her and her family had 9 years of freedom and capitalism,
And if she was
just
born in
decided
South-
to leave.
Yeah, right.
And if she was born in South Korea,
Right.
then she was never under the communist regime.
Well, it's like South Korea.
Not if she was born in '63.
Well, it's like North Korea was in South Korea in like the 20s, but then they like were forced out, and then the war started. But the
war.
fucking she had nothing to do with it.
But it wasn't.
But-
What
it
is
wasn't
that?
a. It wasn't a communist country until the communists invaded.
Well, but I think the point here is this woman is obviously a liar.
Right.
Like she is obviously
She
full
fits
of
in
shit.
Congress pretty well.
Right. She is so full of shit.
Perfect fit.
You know, and of course, Democrats were.
She's a Democrat.
No, she's a Republican, but she's from one of those weird places in California.
Definitely Ocean
like-
County.
God,
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
Definitely the OC.
Jesus, I was hoping that she was a Democrat.
Oh no, but there were plenty of Democrats.
Jesus.
Of course, Democrats
85
were,
of them
were
voted for
tripping
it, right?
over themselves to condemn socialism. You know, it's crazy because it's like, you know, police, bridges, schools, libraries, firefighters, universities.
Did
You know,
ROC sign it?
they don't talk about that as socialism, but what they really mean when they condemn
Or
socialism.
subsidies for all corporations.
Yes, what they really mean when they're condemning socialism is that your tax dollars should only go to help the uber rich. That's
Right.
what these
That's
Democrats
what
are
it is.
saying.
Yeah.
That's
Did
what they're
AOC
saying.
vote for it?
I don't know, but nobody will fucking call these people out on that.
No, you're right.
AOC did not vote for that.
Look,
I
beaches,
can't imagine. that
beaches,
she did.
bridges, roads, you name it.
So,
I mean,
cops, fire department.
it's all government
all
funded.
socialism.
Yeah.
Medicaid, Social
So,
Security.
I mean, not just that, but all the subsidies that go out to corporations,
Yeah.
go out
Don't
to
get
farmers.
me started.
You think fucking Congress would be a place where that nuance would kind of be discussed, but instead they just go, nope, we condemn socialism. Jeff Bezos can only get your tax money, Mr. Ryan Hennon.
Right.
He needs another $10 billion to build a rocket to go into space.
Right.
Well, the one thing is,
Fuck your hat, Jeff. You look ridiculous.
You know, if you look at the money and distribution of wealth in this country, we're 80% capitalists, we're 20% socialists. I think most Americans would like to see it more 50-50. I am one of those Americans.
Sure.
I would love to see people getting helped out without getting benefits and things taken away from them.
We're spending the
costs
money
are going
anyway.
so
And
high
at
right
the-
now, and everybody,
at this
billionaires
point-
are getting richer and richer every day, and all of our costs, regular people, our costs are going through the roof every day, and nobody's really doing anything about it, Republican or Democrat. They're not. They
No,
don't care
and
to do it.
you know, healthcare is a perfect place for the government to come in and provide services.
Yeah.
And we don't. We
No.
I mean, I
Argentina
That gets us
needs
to our
help.
next topic, Steve. Speak on it, Steve.
Okay,
Fuck
well-
him up, Steve.
He was supposed to have a new plan
I
today.
had a comment about difference between socialism
Let's
and
hear it.
fascism. There.
Let's hear it.
Socialism is all those things you talked about: building roads, building bridges, providing services,
Make sure nobody's
libraries,
rich.
museums.
Yep.
Nobody can
That's
get
socialism.
rich.
Fascism is when the government decides that we're going to take 10% of your company if you agree with us on this issue. That's fascism.
Fascism
And
promotes a police
that's
state,
what
a corporate state. That's
well,
if you look at it in Westford's dictionary,
when you
that's what
require
the definition is.
when you require businesses to give up part of their profits or
Like
part
we're
of their
doing right
company
now.
to the United States government in order to get a
we're
deal
on our
for
third
themselves.
company, right?
That's fascism. Socialism is providing the services for people, and I don't think anybody really understands that.
Certainly
but
not MAGA.
It's never been that clear in America as it is today.
Well, nobody really talks about it. It's not taught in our schools. We don't know. You hear people like. So I have a friend that lived in Spain for 10 years. He hated it because it's socialist.
Is this
Because
Daniel?
nobody can get rich.
Is this Daniel?
Nobody can get rich.
He's the one who's afraid to
it's
come
like
on the show?
illegal to get rich, apparently. And I'm like, dude, there's rich people in Spain.
Pussy.
You know, there is. There's rich people everywhere. Don't
They're
give
all
me that,
Americans.
you know what I mean? But I go to him, I go, what's your income gap? Oh, you don't have one. Oh, weird. You still have people that own businesses. You know, like
I prefer to step over the homeless in the middle of the street and make sure they have treatment or whatever the fuck. You know, it's crazy.
I prefer that we fight against each other in the different
but I
classes.
think if
That's
I
much
looked
big-
up fascism in the dictionary just to see what the actual definition is. It says police state, corporate, runs the government, and it's like, dude, that's totally what we are. I mean, I don't see how we're not that. Like, I just don't. I don't see how we've never not been that.
We're not. I mean, we really aren't.
I don't know.
We are.
Corporations buy all our politicians.
Well, no. I mean, there's a
Yeah.
well, we're moving towards that potentially, but
I think it's been there a
There's
while.
a spectrum. You know, capitalism is on the far end, and it's one of those things. Just like pure communism can't exist, pure capitalism can't exist either.
No.
There are some services
trying.
that the government has to provide because it makes more sense for the government to provide it.
Yes.
It doesn't make sense for roads to be owned independently by private businesses, because then
we're all living in an HOA.
Well, we'd all be paying a toll for every fucking road that
Everything.
we drive on.
Yeah.
And that doesn't make any
without a
sense.
doubt. Without
we
a
wouldn't be
doubt.
paying. We would not be paying any taxes.
Right.
But we'd be taxed to death by private business in everything that we
Yeah.
do. So,
But instead, the boa constrictor that is John Mulfeld just gets to fucking wrap
Dude,
around
he
my
just
neck, just
squeezes
tighter
it.
and
He
tighter and
squeezes,
tighter and tighter.
squeezes.
And I go, I don't have any goddamn
Relentless.
money left, John, to send the city.
What are you gonna do? And if you argue with him, he's gonna sick Sweeney on you, and then you're fucking toast.
Yeah, right.
And if you get through Sweeney, Rebecca's coming, and you don't want that. You don't want that wrath.
So anyway, and we have to redefine what are the services that the government has to provide. You know, back in the beginning of America, we didn't pay for roads, and then we realized,
Yeah,
wow,
you're right.
if we want to actually have commerce, if we want to be able to depend on trade, we can't have John Williams' toll road followed by William Johnson's toll road just to get a cart of goods from Washington D.C.
Imagine being the founding fathers.
to Northern Virginia, to
Like,
Southern
we're doing
Virginia.
this because we don't want to be taxed.
You know,
we don't
I mean,
want
that's
to pay for anything. We don't. After a couple
so
years,
we have
like,
to
well,
redefine
fuck.
that all the time.
We gotta have tax.
Initially in America, there were toll roads.
Yep.
Each state charged
Still
a
was a
different
lot
amount
of
of
them.
money to bring your goods through the state, and it didn't make any
I
fucking
mean,
sense.
I get the toll roads
So-
in America raise billions of dollars a day.
Yeah.
Billions
Well,
of dollars.
but I mean,
Well,
I,
but
I
that's-
like what I understand what you're saying, but like the whole reason, like the taxes of the founding fathers, it was taxes that didn't have anything to do with them. All the money went back to England to
the
pay for
king.
the wars that they'd done for the last 200 years,
Yeah.
and none of the benefits went back to them, and that's why they were pissed.
yes,
Right.
and they should be. Well, that's kind of like
and they,
how
and they were
I feel.
they
I
were
think
being
a lot
taxed to house soldiers.
I think
in
a lot
their
of us
homes.
feel that way too. If you look at on my average $35 a year, a paycheck of mine goes to SNAP. $750 or whatever goes to corporate welfare. Come on,
Right.
that's where we should have a real argument in this country about like
That's
okay,
where Doge should be working. That's where the
but they are
chainsaw
corporate,
should be
so they
working.
can't.
But
that was
actually,
never
it
the
should be
intent,
it should be
yeah.
a giant golden scalpel.
That was never the purpose.
is what it should be.
So go back to the health because today I was watching
Okay, let's
CNN.
go back to healthcare.
Yeah, they're
And,
gonna
and they're
fix-
saying that Trump is about to unveil his plan.
Oh, fuck.
And the lady goes like this on CNN. She goes like this. Oh, Oh wait, no,
Give
this just
me a
in. This just
fucking
in.
break.
We the plan isn't ready yet. We're
Yeah,
not.
no
We'll keep you
shit.
alert. Really? On live TV on the news, she puts her hand to like, well,
Yes.
no, I'm getting a
The
special
GOP
report.
look,
Special report. I guess
have
there is
no
There is no
plan.
plan.
The GOP healthcare plan is don't get sick, bomb Venezuela, and diddle kids.
Okay.
That's the
Real
GOP
quick about
healthcare.
this. I have a friend.
The GOP healthcare plan is the gas that just went through my shorts. That's what it is.
From
Well,
the
it's very
Brussels
simple.
sprouts?
It has nothing to do
The-
with anything.
The GOP healthcare plan is very simple. The GOP gets your vote, and in return, you get this very special bag of magic beans
That's right.
that you can do what you wish.
So do you guys?
It's
My friend just sent me a text that says,
it's a bag of powders.
yeah.
It's creatine.
Yeah.
It's collagen. It's
Trump just said that we
Ozempic.
must-
All
Yeah, Ozempic. We must focus all our energy on and might on election fraud. So Laura Logan, I don't know if you guys know who this is. She's been fired from Newsmax, fired from CBS, fired from everybody. Now she's a huge conspiracy theory. She pushes the
So
thing
she's
that
in the
Democrats
cabinet
are
now.
drinking the
I'm
rum
listening.
Democrats are drinking the blood of children, and that's
Some
why
are.
that's how she got kicked out of Newsmax. Like, how do you get kicked out of Newsmax? But anyway, I have a friend that's not dumb. He's MAGA, but he's not dumb. And he sends me, he goes, "This is why Trump needs to attack and is going to attack Venezuela over election fraud."
Right.
Dude, I mean, you
it
can't
doesn't make any
this up.
sense.
But these are normal, smart people that are, will share this with me. And I'm like, bro, all you got to do is Wikipedia this bitch. You know she's a fucking lunatic. Do not trust anything she says.
Wikipedia is another
you know?
tool of the left, dude. I don't know if
You're
you've
right.
seen that.
It's like Google.
But seriously, though,
Go to
ChatGPT.
Grokpedia is where it's at.
but seriously, the GOP tax plan doesn't make any fucking sense. This
Well, if you're rich, it does.
No, it doesn't.
where you're going to send consumers money because their whole thing, Zinke, Sheehy, fucking Danes, their whole thing is we got to end the Obamacare tax credits because all that does is give money to these insurance companies. So instead, what we're going to do is we're going to give the American consumer money so then they can in turn give it to
their own
insurance
the insurance company,
companies.
Which costs
the
way
insurance
more
company
money.
of their choice.
Right.
That's
It
capitalism.
doesn't make any sense.
No, but what he's saying, read between the fucking lines. He's saying, we don't trust the insurance companies. I don't trust the insurance companies. Thank God the government doesn't trust the insurance companies
Yeah.
anymore.
At least
Because
that's what they're telling
as soon
you.
as we get them out of our fucking health care, we're all going to be a lot fucking better off.
Yeah.
But we're not going to do that.
Seriously.
But we're
I'll
not
tell
going to
you.
do that.
Why can't we just say that out loud over and over and over again?
We're not going to because we're fascist because the insurance industry.
Yeah. Oh, you know why? Oh,
owns our
because it's an
politicians.
insurance company. It's treated like an individual.
Yeah.
Citizens
It's an
United.
individual.
The used
they
car-
can spend as much money as they fucking want on an election. And you know what they do? What do insurance companies do? They take your money and they don't give it back to you when you need it.
No. Oh, no,
Because
they
they
deny
have this thing called
I got
float.
shot for that.
They have this thing called float. That's the amount of money they take in before they have to pay anything out. That's why Warren
To make sure
Buffett.
they're
That's why
profitable.
Warren Buffett made billions and billions of dollars off of insurance companies because he realized who's got all the cash. What companies have all the cash in America? Whose books look the best? Insurance companies do because they have a ton of fucking cash and they don't pay shit out until one bad thing happens. So
And then
I
if
don't
something bad
trust
does
health
happen, then
insurance
they blame
companies.
it on that.
I hope you don't trust in health insurance companies either.
No, absolutely not.
because their motivation
How
is profit.
dare
Their
you.
motivation is not your health.
So if I
You
was
know
to buy a
anything about
policy,
me,
if-
Steve, I would imagine you'd know I don't trust fucking insurance companies.
I use Obamacare, and I get a credit, not much because I make pretty good.
Because
money,
Ed likes his doctor, and he'd like to keep his
Yeah,
doctor.
and
He's his own doctor.
I don't even- my doctor, he's not bad. I don't think he likes me. 'cause
Well,
I
you don't like
listen to
Dr. Bukacek? You and her not get along?
him. She should be my doctor. I probably have a lot more.
That's his
fun.
spiritual advisor.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I mean,
I'll tell you, the used car market is about to go
like
bananas.
I saved money on it. Yeah.
Oh, because it's going to be like, this thing right here, she's brand new. Old lady had to sell it. Health insurance premiums tripled.
right, yeah.
What's it going to take to get you into this
So
Buick
when they say
today?
the average, if the credits go away, the average health insurance consumer is going to see increases upwards of 114%. Holy fuck!
Yeah. It's crazy.
So, like, if I
Wow.
went on a private, but I get it because on Obamacare,
So
I thought it was going to
pay like
decrease
$600. I pay
$1,500%.
$600 a month.
so yours is going to go up to what? $1,200.
I pay $600 a month, and I do my taxes, and sometimes like the ski shop makes a little more money or whatever. But basically, everything's based off my bar income, and I take the other money from the other businesses and reinvest in the businesses. But sometimes I do make more money.
Don't
So
admit to tax fraud.
So I
here,
got to
Rush.
pay more money to the Obamacare, which is fine. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if I did get my own policy, we just went on my own and went to one get one, I'd be paying fucking $2,000 a month for myself.
Damn. Does that include Amy?
No, that's just
She has
myself.
her own too.
Yeah, she's got Obamacare too. She's on Medicaid. She doesn't make much money at all. But I'm just saying. So I pay $580 a month now, and then I'll have to pay anywhere from $1,000 to $4,000 at the end of the year when I do my taxes in case I make more money. You know. But if I didn't, if I just went to, I'm a smoker. I'm 53. I broke my back twice. I have a fake fucking arm.
Shoulder, yeah.
I mean, I broke my pelvic bone. I got a bad hip. Like I got problems.
Right. Sometimes
I'm
you
$2,000
3-putt.
a month.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot.
You don't 3-putt much.
What's
though.
your life insurance policy like? Are
I
we
got
on?
it cheap,
Did
it's
you
like
write us
$90
into it?
a month or
Did you
something.
write us into it?
I just Googled
Yeah.
the cheapest one. I had to get one for a fucking SBA loan. So, like, I have to get a life insurance policy.
right.
No, I lied on it. No, I didn't.
God.
So that's funny. You were talking about.
Ladder does not watch this, do you?
You were talking about how they said, "Oh, the plan's going to be available next week." So I've got a little timeline here where it says,
Trump's plan?
"Yeah, here's the Trump Care timeline." It says, "We're going to come up with a great plan, December 2016, and this will be a great plan, May 2017. Wait until you see the plan we have coming out over the next 4 weeks, May 2018. We're going to have fantastic health care, and the plan is coming out over the next 4 weeks, May 2019. We already have the concepts of a plan, June 2019. I have concepts of a plan, September 2024. I was fucking diagnosed with cancer, had 2 surgeries, did 3 rounds of chemotherapy, and got fucking cured.
Since the whole
And
time.
since this guy doesn't even have a fucking healthcare plan. What the fuck are we talking about here?
Again, his followers, they believe him. They believe
crazy.
he's got a plan.
It's
This has
wild.
been 9 years of him having a plan with
They
no
don't
plan.
care. They
And
don't
he just
care if
announced
has a
today he's
plan.
going to have a new plan next week. Fucking
I know.
Charlie Brown.
No, it was gonna be
Charlie
today.
Brown's going to kick the football again, everybody.
It was going to be today. And live on the air, the CNN anchor's
The
like,
American
sorry,
voter-
no plan.
The American voter is Charlie Brown, getting ready to kick the fucking football again. We're going
Dude,
to yank it
it
away,
is-
you dumb motherfuckers. Yeah.
I mean, but again, people love him. They
Right.
believe he's got
What
a
are you
plan.
gonna do?
Like, he doesn't have to do anything to get, that 30% of the cult. They don't give a fuck.
Did you see what Mike Johnson
I
said?
don't know. I think
No,
they're
what
gonna-
did he say?
they're
He,
gonna start.
he said he hasn't read it yet. He doesn't know.
He was talking about the Republican hair plan, and he said, we're not going to be on a conference call explaining all our plans and strategies for
Yeah,
healthcare
that was-
reform because they'll get leaked in real time. And it's like, leaked in real time? Who gives a shit? What are these, war plans? Like,
Wow.
what the fuck are we talking about here?
Make
Mike?
sure they don't know what the healthcare
Right,
plan
your
could
insider
be.
trading tips?
It's going to
Like-
be a big secret.
He gets Bullshitter Artist of the Year award, dude,
crazy.
10 times over.
Leaked?
Mike Johnson, that's why he got
His
hired.
hair has turned so gray in the last
When-
2 years.
When they first signed him, or when he got the job, I was like, oh, they want this inconspicuous little yes man that's just gonna, toe the line and look good doing it.
Yeah.
And that's exactly
And
what
Rand
they
Paul
got.
wants you to buy health care from like Costco or Amazon.
Right.
Right,
And it's
he's-
like, oh boy, I can't wait for my fucking chemo drip to turn off for a 3-minute Dodge Ram commercial because I couldn't afford the $18.99
That's
for the
exactly what would
ad-free
happen.
option.
That would
you don't have,
happen.
you don't have
Exactly what would happen.
chemo. You don't have chemo
Christ.
prime.
Yeah, exactly.
Chemo prime.
Oh fuck, we lost another patient. Yeah, oh god. What a
Well,
joke.
And if Marjorie Taylor Greene was so upset about all the shit that's happening to her and how bad the Democrats
stay.
are or how bad the Republicans are, why? I mean, all it takes is one person to get rid of the fucking speaker. If she hates him so much,
Right.
She was the
Vote,
one.
yeah.
She was the one
Yeah.
who forced that in there when McCarthy was the speaker.
Yep.
I mean, why?
Her
What the
and
fuck
Gates.
is she doing?
Yeah.
Remember Matt Gates?
Oh,
What
yeah.
happened to that pedophile?
He's
God.
still around. He's apparently
Well,
I
they,
miss
they
that.
tried,
Allegedly,
they tried
like,
to make him. They
sleeping
tried to
with
make
homeless
him.
girls.
They
Yeah.
tried to
It's
make him
pretty good,
attorney
Matt Gates,
general.
yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
God
That's right.
damn.
But he refused.
That was on the last show. I think you had already checked out.
But here's what I will.
Oh,
here's
so
my
bad.
plea to the 40 people watching. Whenever you hear about,
340.
whenever you
Nice.
hear
Wow.
Republicans
Is that
talk
on Facebook
about,
or YouTube?
face with.
Whenever you hear about
Thanks for
Republicans
sticking with us
talking
so
about
long.
their health care plan, I want you to look at your utility bill or look at your grocery bill, and I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to think about that fucking woman in a bikini in an oversized champagne glass at the Great Gatsby Mar-a-Lago
Yes.
party, and I want you to clench your jaw until your fucking teeth crack. Because that's how angry I want you to be when you hear things from Mike Johnson saying, "Well, we can't give you the details; they'll just get leaked." Or Trump from 2016, 10 fucking years ago, being like, "Yeah, we have a plan."
They
when
don't
was
care.
the last GOP representative that put out? Was it Paul Ryan?
He's
In
owning
like-
the libs.
in like 2012.
He's owning the
He
libs.
had a plan,
He's
yeah.
ending woke. That's all they care about. That
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck about money. They don't give a fuck about anything. They give a fuck about ending woke, owning the libs,
Right.
and getting rid of trans people.
And you have these-
That's it. That's
you
what
have
they give
these
a fuck about. We got to face the facts.
You have these
They
morons.
don't care about it.
You have these morons like Joe Rogan and Elon Musk that say, "Oh no, the left, they moved way far to the
Yeah.
left." Obamacare is Mitt Romney's plan from when he was the governor of Massachusetts.
And that was
so
a very
if anything,
long time ago.
If anything, the people on the left moved farther to the right and left everyone else on
It
the
was
left.
Jesse
going, "Hey."
Waters
And
and,
you know-
fucking Greg
well-
Gutfeld that brought this shit into light. It wasn't the fucking left. It was not.
No.
But they knew that they could win on ideology.
Well, it's been around since Eisenhower. I mean, Eisenhower after World War II,
Jesse Waters,
they thought that it's probably a good idea to just give everybody health care.
Otto von Bismarck did it in 1860.
Is he the guy that named the donut after?
Audubon Bismarck?
There's not
Did
a
he just say
fucking
Audubon
donut.
Bismarck?
There's not a Bismarck donut?
Well,
Isn't there?
Bismarck's a jelly-filled donut, but
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I don't think
Really?
they named
Okay.
it after
That's the
Mr.
name
Otto
of it?
von
Donut?
Bismarck.
But he's the. I mean, yeah, they're in Germany in 1860. They had fucking universal health care.
Oh, well, most places have
I
it.
mean,
In fact, every country that
But
we
we can't
give
do it
billions
here.
of dollars have it.
No.
Yeah, right.
Every country we give money and aid to has
Argentina
universal health
does.
care.
Yeah.
In fact, we're the only developing
Well,
country,
Obama-
developed country that doesn't have it.
No, we are. And because we think the free market's going to do a better job. When we spend 23 cents out of every healthcare dollar goes to an insurance company, which is why Luigi Mangione is in jail right
Well,
now.
same reason that Catholics think that their kids are getting a better education.
And I'm not
at a
saying
Catholic
killing
school.
people is a good idea, but I'm saying
Sometimes.
that is the
Sometimes it's not the
that's
worst idea.
fucking-
And I understand the argument.
Like they kill it,
The argument from the other side is usually like, well, we can't just give the government all the money because they're notoriously bad at spending
They
money. But I think there has to be an argument of saying where there needs to be some middle ground here where we can do things more efficiently and we can increase lifespans and we can increase
I don't think they want
happiness.
that.
in
It
this
shouldn't
country.
be for profit. It should not fucking be for profit.
Like, what's the reason?
There and nonprofit the nonprofit laws need to change. There should be a limit to how much you can pay a CEO in a nonprofit corporation.
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
you
The
gotta,
NFL,
It's a
Red
multi-tiered
Cross,
process. I don't think
PGA
that
Tour?
Churches?
I'm not the kind of person
Yeah.
that thinks that the government's going to do a bang-up job with this.
No.
They couldn't do a fucking worse
Given
job.
your track
though.
record at the city, that is
True.
not
Yeah, well,
surprising.
I love
that's where I became a believer in the government shouldn't be doing it. The other thing I want to say is that Obamacare should be called Boehner-Care. Remember the first Orange Princess?
I miss
That was
Boehner.
John
I
Boehner.
miss Boehner.
From Ohio,
boner,
actually.
boner.
He was a funny
He,
guy.
he was the guy who watered
Ate
everything
breakfast
down.
at the Buffalo Cafe.
Did he? Mm-hmm. Really? Yep.
I remember when he was here. Yes, I do remember that.
Did he leave a smear on the seat like the
Probably,
old I
yeah.
ran into Tammy Faye T-shirts? Remember those?
So to kind of Kevin's giving us the wrap up signal here.
Okay.
The final thing here, it kind of that made me think of all this. Made me think of this story where JD Vance went on TV and said in a very fucking condescending way that only JD, this little fucking worm, can speak. He wants everyone to have patience
Teddy
with the
Boykin.
economy. Patience with the economy. Well, JD, fucking patience don't pay the rent, pal.
Oh, dude, I should.
Where
look
was
at-
the patience for Biden?
I should have looked on. Dude,
Right.
no, that doesn't work. Yeah,
That's
Right.
like
I'm afraid to look at my. I just got the email from Obamacare. Fred just texted me. His premium went up to $794 a month.
from what?
That was probably like $400.
Right. I'll be sure to tell the
less than
hardworking
I
father
play.
of 3 fighting cancer whose insurance claim was just denied just to be patient. Just
Right.
wait it out.
Right.
You know, fuck you, JD Vance.
Yeah.
Pisses me off. And is this, do you think this is JD's sweater speech?
His sweater speech.
See, this is why we need Joe Peck.
You
He
mean-
would, he would get that.
He
He
would
would
get that.
laugh.
I was
Don't you
texting
remember
him the show.
the Jimmy Carter sweater
Yes.
speech?
Yes.
Oh,
In
yeah.
front of the fire. Yeah.
In front of
That's
the fire where he had a
That's what I
cardigan.
was just wondering if that's what you were talking
He had a
about.
cardigan on and he said, times are tough.
Times
There's
are
an
tough.
energy
Time to
crisis.
pull up your sleeves
Maybe
and
throw
save
on
a little money.
Maybe
Don't-
throw on a sweater. And it's like,
That's exactly
we face
what's
a crisis
going on.
of confidence.
and he was filleted
Well,
for that.
you know what? But here's the deal.
Oh yeah, he was.
Well, I don't think
That's why Reagan came in.
I don't think Carter and his administration were sinister like this, though. I think these guys are just getting
Jimmy-
away with as much as they're stealing. I've said this
He
before.
is-
Jimmy Carter didn't wear
I'll
enough
say it.
mascara though.
He is history's greatest
He
monster.
did not. They're stealing our money. They're stealing
Yes,
as much
of
money
course.
as they can.
Yes.
All these billionaires, they're stealing as much as they can, pass as many laws as they can, to develop as many AI servers as they can, whatever. And they're just going to keep telling the American people this until they're all so goddamn wealthy that they just don't give a fuck and they're not in politics anymore and say, here's the shit we leave you. Good fucking luck. You got nothing left.
So here's what I think of, Steve, when I think of
That
JD
sounds
Vance.
like the Trump
I have a quote.
administration,
I have a
yes.
quote for you. Here's what
You
I think
of sex? You think
Oh,
of
yeah,
having a hard
just
on?
fucking
You think of-
hot sex.
What
What
Yeah.
did Teddy Ruxpin
I think
say?
of that scene in Titanic when her hand goes on the steamy window and just comes. That's what I think of. No, so here's
Teddy
a quote
Ruxpin?
that when I think of JD Vance, it says, "Your worst sin is that you betrayed yourself for nothing." You know who said that?
Teddy Ruxpin.
That was Dostoevsky. Just a cautionary tale about the tragedy of wasted potential and, the profound consequences of living a meaningless life. That's what I think of when I think of fucking JD Vance.
I think of couch fucking.
Right, well, that's that too.
I think of a sad little boy who really has tried on so many costumes in his life.
Yeah, he'll be whatever you need him to be.
And
He looks like Brian
exactly.
Baldinger.
Yeah.
Doesn't he?
And I also think of
The NFL commentary guy.
when I see him
got
when I see him with
eyes,
when I see him
beady
with
eyes.
that beard, it's like
Yeah.
I see Teddy Ruxpin. That's all I see.
Yeah, I mean, well,
I see homosexual.
Okay,
I really do.
okay.
Makeup and
to be fair, I
call him a
will
bear?
I will take the other side to this. Yes, everything is super expensive. Everything sucks now because of Trump and JD's insane policies, but I think a lot of people have forgotten that we changed the name of the mountain back to Mount McKinley.
that is
We did?
important.
Yes,
and
it's
the Gulf
not
of
Denali
America.
anymore. It's Mount McKinley.
The Gulf of America.
And then you used to hear about how expensive groceries were for 4 straight fucking years. Now, not so much.
It's Fort Bragg again,
No,
but
what he
after
said-
a
what he said
different
in
brag.
Well, he said in that speech, he said, "Well, what people don't remember is that under Biden, a dozen eggs was $8, and we brought it down to $6.50, and that hurts, but it's still better."
Dude. Anyway, we need to move to closing thoughts, or I'm
So
gonna have a coronary.
that's 90 minutes of bullshit, ladies and gentlemen. We want to thank Jasmine, Ellen. Who else we got? We got more Jasmine, Ken, Glenda for tuning in live and actually bringing some comments. Thanks. But I'm going to start off with closing thoughts tonight, and that is I went to a funeral today. Doug Gilbertson. If you went to any Twins baseball game, Bulldog football or basketball, or even hopped on the snow bus, you saw him at one point in your life. And just wanted to say that he was a selfless person that served in Vietnam in the Navy, and then he was a volunteer for just about everything. He was on the planning board at one point, all this, and I just think it's like, think about what you're doing for your community, and if you're not doing anything, just think about that a
Just
little
think
bit.
about, like us.
Maybe
we're
you're
just
the
doing a lousy podcast. We're
And
not-
also-
we could do more.
How about those Wolfpack?
How about those Wolfpack, baby?
How about them Minnesota Vikings?
State champs. We're not going to sully the Wolfpack's name by bringing up the Vikings. Okay?
Let's not.
Hey, congrats, Kev, on being on a state championship.
I went to the
team
game. They
here in
got
Montana.
down. They got down 3-0 in the first quarter. The first time they trailed all
That's
season.
when he texted me that. I go, I don't think they've been behind all year.
Season.
And that was true. I'm going to say DJT, the ticker, the stock ticker, Trump
Yeah.
Media, it's down to $10.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's bad.
I think that's going to be Kevin lock of the week here over here on Ryan's side.
Maybe invest in DJT.
Pick of the
But
week.
it opened at like 28 or 30, went down to 24, been hovering on 20 for a long time. But nobody's talking about it, and they used to talk about it almost every day. Now they're not saying a word. It's down to $10.
They're in crypto now. They don't.
What
care
about Trump
stock.
RX? Where's that?
He makes pills now.
Yeah, he's opening Trump RX. That's what he said.
Well, I will say my closing thought of the week. I was going to give out a hot Keno machine tip at the Tap House, but apparently Ed told me it was
Somebody got it
just
tonight.
hit today for $1,800.
That sucks.
Hopefully you tailed my tip last week. The Georgia Bulldogs minus 40,
Yeah.
minus 44.5. We took
32.
We took Charlotte. We were on the other side. Kirby Smart has
32.
never covered a number that
Wasn't
big,
even
Steve.
It was 35-3, wasn't it? The score.
Yep, wasn't
Yeah.
even close. We call that in the business a rocking chair.
I
win.
forgot to bet. I forgot to bet on it too. I was going to take the under and take the spread.
It was 28-3 at half.
This week, the Buckeyes are going to fuck up the Michigan Wolverines. They're favored by 9.5 points. I'll lay.
Oh, I think it's.
I'll lay 14. I think the Buckeyes are going to avenge. They've lost 4 straight to Michigan.
Yep, 4 years in a row now.
I think they're going to beat the hell out of them. So
Michigan's not very good.
it's
right?
in Michigan.
Well, they're ranked 14.
True freshman quarterback. That Buckeyes defense
Michigan
is
is better-
nasty.
Oh, better
they're
than they
gonna
were
wipe
last
the
year.
floor with them.
Yeah.
Michigan beat them last year. I don't think Michigan was ranked last year, were they? When
How's
they beat
JJ
them?
Turf Toe doing?
If I had to get, we're
bad.
not talking about the Vikings right now. Okay.
We're not going to talk about it
In
until
fact,
next year.
Kevin, cut his mic.
We're not going to talk about the Vikings until next year. They're
I'm
done.
going to say, if I had to put a number on it, 31-10 Buckeyes.
You think so?
I'll take 21 points.
I think a lot of
I'll
people
make
said
bet.
that last year. Michigan beat them.
Give me 21. I'll put $5 there.
Michigan's ranked this year, top
Yeah.
20.
Buckeyes are they'll fuck them up.
I think they will too. I really do. too.
Steve, what do you got?
All I got, I'm going to go back political again. Sorry, guys. But, MTG said something about feeling like a battered wife, and I certainly sympathize with that feeling. And on this podcast a while ago, I said that I think MAGA feels that way. They are in an abusive
rough
relationship, and they're looking for a way to get out. And every time they try to get out, they have to get back in because they're being abused in some other way. So for MTG, we understand you. You heard what I said you got to do in order for forgiveness.
All right. Thanks
Praise
for
Jesus.
thanks for tuning in. And
Rest in
on
peace,
December 3rd,
That is when we're having
Is that Riley, right?
Riley
hell yeah.
and Jesse, I believe.
Love talking to Riley.
Let's see. And then, we do have some guests that we've been talking about getting them on here, and we will. In fact, Kevin and I will get together at some point.
But we have a whole cast of characters coming on. Thanks to